Hello, and welcome to another week of asynchronous art videos. This week, we're going to do like an art mashup. We're going to combine what we've already been learning in art with a current event that's going on in the world right now. So I'm going to share my screen with you all so that we can get started. So this week's objective for art is that we are learning how to use the elements of art to draw a composition inspired by the artist Claude Monet and the recent George Floyd verdict, right? And we will reach our success criteria when we can use value to create a Salome Yorina News headline design of water lilies inspired by Claude Monet and the recent George Floyd verdict. So here's Claude Monet, and he's a French painter, and he does a lot of water lilies and gardens and flowers and bridges. I mean, he just does multiple water lilies. He has at least 250 copies of the same type of flower, which is okay, because if masters artists can do it, then so can we. Like, you can have copies of the same flower everywhere, and that will improve your skills, and also it might give you that reputation you need to become a master artist. So he was born in 1840 and he died in 1926. So here's one of his water lilies. This is called Nymphosis, and it's an oil on canvas, and it's 41 inches long, and the height is like 26 inches. So it's like 2 feet high and maybe like 3 or 4 feet wide, right? So it's a long painting. And he did this one in 1897 to 98. It took him a year to do it. And it's amazing. It has like the value that we're going to talk about in a few seconds. So we're going to create a news article, just kind of like to commemorate George Floyd, the verdict. They found the guy who murdered him guilty. And so that is a win for the family. And water lilies represent peace. So I just wanted us to wish the Floyd family and anyone who was involved in this case just peace right now, because now they found him guilty and he will serve his time. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. And we are going to begin. So water lilies, like I said, are flowers of peace. So we're going to start by creating the newsletter, like the front page cover of a newsletter head. So I have like this paper here that I've been using. So I'm just going to use this as my ruler because I don't have a ruler. Here, let me get another piece of paper so you all can see it better. I'm just going to use this as my ruler to draw a horizontal line across the top of our newsletter cover. So it's going to be like maybe 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit under 1/2 inch thick. And I'm going to match them up by the corners so that I can have a perfect straight line going across. So I'm going to use my Sharpie. You can use your pencil just in case you need to erase later, but I'm going to use my Sharpie. So here's my horizontal line going across my paper. You can absolutely freehand your horizontal line if you want to, but this is just to give you a guide to draw that horizontal line. And so there's my first horizontal line on the page. And that's where I'm going to put my volume number and my issue number for my newsletter. And so the next space is where you usually put the title of your newsletter, like the headline, the title of what you're going to talk about in your article, in your news article. And so we're talking about the George Floyd case. So if you can think of any type of headline or slogan or anything you want to say, like a short message, a title for what you want to say about the George Floyd case, this is where you will put that title. So it'll be in big cap letters. And so I'm not going to draw the title now because I want you to think of a title on your own. And then what I am going to do, though, is I am going to put our volume and issue number and the title of our news letter. So I'm going to start with volume 1 because I don't Just gonna start with volume 1, and that VOL stands for volume. Then I'm supposed to put a 1 right here, and then I'm gonna put issue 2. So volume is like a set of issues, and issue is just like the first magazine. And so on the other side of this, I'm going to put the Urena Journal, and that is the name of our pretend newsletter, right? So I'm going to put the Urena Journal. And so that is the top part of our magazine cover. This is our front page newsletter cover. Sorry, not a magazine. I mean, it can be a magazine if you want to. And I decided to do this because a lot of the articles that I saw on the internet were kind of like almost like depressing and kind of like showing this guy that killed George Floyd with like a mean face, or showing George Floyd like looking sad. And this is supposed to be like a joyous occasion. Like people have marched in order to have this case go well. People from all walks of life, all races have marched. So, and now we're supposed to be like at peace because the man who did the crime is now going to do the time. He was found guilty. So that was the verdict. So we're going to continue with drawing our water lily because water lily represents peace. And I just want to wish the family of both George Floyd and his murderer just like peace, you know, because that's the right thing to do. Like, you know, we wish George Floyd's family well. So I'm going to start by drawing a curved line. And so I'm going to go curved line up, and then I'm going to hit it with a point, a little bit of a curve back. And that's going to be the middle of my water lily, the middle leaf of my water lily. I'm going to bring that down. So a curved line down, and then it's going to go all the way back to where I started, right? So that's my first leaf of my water lily. So here's another leaf of my water lily. I'm going to go a curved line up on the side of it, and then set that same little triangle kind of point, and then come down. I'm going to do it again, curved line up, but this time I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come down and curve, and then hit it right there. And then I'm going to draw another leaf. It's going to kind of like point out, curve line, and then come right underneath there, just like that. So I'm going to go on the other side and create some more leaves, right? Some more petals, not leaves, they're petals, right? So here's one petal on this side. It's going to go all the way up, curve line to that point, and then come like kind of all the way down. Here's another one like that. It comes to a point and then comes down. And another one to a point and then come down. And then one more right here. It's going to come down. And so now I could begin to draw the bottom part of my water lily. So I'm going to draw the same thing. It's almost like a reflection of the one that we have here, but I'm going to make it a little bit wider because as the leaf gets bigger, as the flower gets bigger, sorry, so does the petals. So I just created that curved line there. And then here's another one. I'm just going to put that like that. And it's going to curve again out that way. So water lilies are of the lotus flower family, but they just grow in water very well. So they do look like a lotus flower. And so that's my water lily outline, the contour lines of my water lily. Now I'm going to begin to put like the designs in it. And I'm also going to put the lily pads. Let's not forget that. Like lily pads are like the extra leaves that grow on a side. So they're like little ovals. So here's one lily pad. It's kind of going to go off the page a little bit, but that's okay. This one lily pad, and then here's another one. Let's draw another one, like maybe going the opposite direction. So it'll be a half circle curved line, and then maybe it just comes down like that. I'm gonna draw one more off to the side, just like that. So they're not exactly ovals, they're just round shape, but so you can imagine that that is what it looks like when it's in the water. So from the top, I'm gonna start drawing the details in my water lily, right? So here's one. I'm actually gonna make it like a little bit of like that so that it has that funky kind of edge. I'm gonna do it really fast. Like once you start stroking it, you can make your strokes really, really fast, and it gives that marker that pointy edge and not so much of a blunt edge that I'm experiencing with my Sharpie. So, and then here, I'm just gonna put like a little curved line like that. And then like two of those lines going crossing down like that. And over here, I'm going to put another curved line, kind of like go fast when you're on the edge. There, and here's another curved line for the petal. I'm gonna do one more up here. I'm gonna like stretch it a little bit, right? And then like that again, and then like that. And then one more in the back, and that is my water lily, right? So we're done with our water lily. And once you have your title, I'm just gonna put my title. I'm gonna put it in bold letters. You do not have to write the title that I'm writing. You can create your own title up here, but most definitely I want you guys to create the water lily. It doesn't have to be this big either. It can be small. So over here at the top, we're gonna do the title. I'm gonna put my title. I'm gonna put Justice Serves. So I'm just gonna put my bubble letters here. And if you guys, if you all are having trouble drawing bubble letters, you can start by just like drawing the letter itself. Like I'm gonna draw the letter S. So here's my letter S, right? And then as I'm drawing my letter S, I'm just gonna go around it, all the way around it. Right? Then I can color that in. I mean, that's if you're doing it in marker. I'm doing it in marker, so that's gonna be my S, right? I'm gonna color it in. Right, and again, you can pause the video whenever you feel like you need more time to create your water lily, or you need more time to create your bubble letters, right? So I'm just gonna freehand my bubble letters. And you actually do start by drawing a regular letter, but you just kind of like keep going. Justice. And then serve. Oops. So like my paper is, I have to hold my paper down. You have to hold your paper down as well. So that's a little mistake, but it's okay though. It's okay. So now we have what looks like a top of a newsletter head, and we have our title, Justice Served, and we have our little image to go along with our text. Now on this side is where you're going to create your text. I'm sorry, your text for your newsletter. It can be whatever you want. You can say whatever you want about the George Floyd case, however you're feeling, you can say that, as long as it's not like offensive to anyone else. Like we want to be kind and polite, and show support for people who have been involved in this case, right? And I mean, of course, for the George Floyd family, right? So I'm going to start by drawing like a big cursive letter T. And then I'm just going to finish with the rest of my text. Today, justice was served for the George Floyd family. we wish them peace with Monet's water lilies. Okay, and so you can put whatever you want, right? But this is what I'm gonna put on my newsletter. And so you don't have to write what I wrote. You can add a picture of George Floyd if you want to. And if you don't know how to draw George Floyd, you can print out one from the internet and you can draw him. But now we're gonna get to the part of our assignment where we actually create value inside of our flower. So I guess I can use an orange color. So orange is a great color to use. This is like scarlet red, but it comes out orange. So just like how we learned in class last time, the parts near the center of the flower is definitely going to be where I press the most to get that darker value of our flower. And then I'm going to go lighter. As I go up to the top, I'm going to get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter as I go up to the top of my water lily. And it's like it's barely even there. See that? So the color is barely there. And so I'm going to do it again with the petal on this side. I'm going to create that darkness. I'm going to go lighter. I'm pressing lighter and lighter as I go up the water lily. And so I think you guys get the idea, right? This a review of what we did last week, but just in another art project. And so we're going to do the same thing for the bottom. I'm going to create that value in our water lily by just pressing lighter and lighter as we go. Right, lighter and lighter as we go to the bottom. And so here's another one. Another petal. And so I want you to color in your entire composition. So water lilies are in the water. So we're going to color the water as well. So I'm starting from the center and going out. So it's like I'm barely touching it, right? So you begin to see that value. You begin to see it. All right. So it's looking very, very good. So you're going to color in the water, color in your lily pad. You can use value, the same techniques with the lily pad. You can use here. I don't know if this is the right color, green, but it seems like it. So yeah. So you can start with making the center, maybe like that dark green color. And then as you get like to the outside, you can make it a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. But yeah, so you get the picture, right? So You're going to continue to color your entire composition, your letters, your background, the water for the for the water, the lily pad and the lily. You're going to continue to draw those things. I mean, create those colors and color in everything. And when you're done with your composition, please send a picture to Miss Maglio or me in Class Dojo or in Google Classrooms, right? Thank you and have a wonderful day, everyone. Have a wonderful day.